Good day to you. This is Enoch bringing you our long-promised synthesis sequence to consolidate the discoveries made here at Enoch in a new geometry which reinterprets physics. Now that's a rather grandiose statement, so let's get right into it. You saw the lab cat. She has given her blessing. She's sitting right here. She knows when I'm giving a video, and so she tries to sit on the keyboard in order to get a back rub, which I'm giving her now because it makes her so happy. Animals are attuned to us. They do fear us initially, but with a concentrative effort, they actually do understand us, and we understand them, of course, because we're quite advanced beings. So are they. All right, with that introduction, let's get into the geometry. This is a circle. The circle is an enigmatic object, although it can be named in several different ways. Now, what you see here are four symbols, D, O, R, and C, which I need to just reduce so that you know that I know what you know we're looking at, because we've seen this before. The circle is a planar object, as I have broached to you for your dancing and dining pleasure. The circle is one of the two planar objects which can be used to parameterize the plane, which means, as I've discussed, the application of a number system to an object in space. All geometry is spatial. Now you know that space-time has incorporated a new characteristic of space into a spatial construction, because all geometry is spatial, whether you call one of the orthogonal axes time or not. And that produces a very specific, very well understood geometry, which is a linear geometry. All geometries to the present date are linear geometries, and we need a new one because the number system that applies to linear space, according to Euclid and the development over the past 2,500 years of Euclid's linear geometry with numbers, has proved that the number system applied to the line, which is one of the two objects that do parameterize the plane, is a linear system that has a reference frame of 0. 0 is the problem, because according to Euclid's definition in the first two sentences of Elements, linear 0, which Euclid did not formulate as a number but rather as a geometric object called a point, has no existence, which is a profound way to begin an axiomatization. It is forced, and Euclid got it right. He derived linear space from its embedding space, and what I discovered is the embedding space of linear space. Now, I've explicated that, elaborated it, and proved in 2022, initiating my channel contributions of videos, now amounting to 1,260 videos, that the integration of linear space into circular space on the plane can be proved to be mathematically consistent. This was one of the paradoxes that prevented anyone from seeing the second geometry that axiomatizes the plane. It is nonlinear. It is non-Euclidean. And so we begin, as Euclid began, with the point. In this diagram that you see over here, which I'm going to expand, so that you see it very carefully, there is an O. I think I'm using my pointer correctly. That is an O. That stands for origin. I want to translate that for you so you know what it means. That is the reference frame. Now, on this diagram, you will see that the O is at the exact center of a line segment. Correct? I believe that that's obvious. What does that signify? The O, indicating origin, is in fact the frame of reference for the plane. That can be extended to 3D if you use this object labeled D, called the diameter. If you use that line, as Euclid did, to parameterize the plane, which he did, then what you get is a line in a plane. I have proved that that line, which is actually a line segment, is embedded in this object labeled C. That can be seen. You are looking at it. But what is the geometric and mathematical relationship between D and C? I believe you know that the constant of correlation, the constant of proportionality, the mathematical constant that translates the diameter, a linear distance, and that must be said because I've discovered another definition of distance, but the linear distance across the circle through O is D, which has a relationship to C, whereby if you use the blue line to compute the circumference C, you get 3.14 ... That is called, and the Greeks knew this, an irrational number. All of these are basic statements which may try your patience because this is tedious at the beginning because we have to repeat what is already known to find the translator between one geometry, which is linear, and the geometry that I discovered, which is the geometry of this, called C. The geometry of the circularized plane, not linearized, non-Euclidean. And that redefines the point, it redefines the line, and it defines the circle in terms of linear computable representable numbers, which I have also, in a sense, discovered. So, we're ready to continue now into a 4-hour lecture on the geometry of the plane based on the conversion between the diameter and the circumference, which is known, it's pi, into a circular geometry which is rational and does not use irrational numbers at all. That is a major discovery. I hope you're listening now to what I'm going to say over the next 4 to 6 hours that will summarize 4 years of incredibly intensive research which has produced all the answers in mathematics and physics. Thank you for tuning in. Your attention now is critical because I don't have much more time on this earth, and I'm not looking for sympathy, but I am looking for an attentive audience who is aware of the duty of a discovery science to explain what he discovered to consensual science. That's you. Thank you for tuning in. It means so much to me that you're listening right now. Thank you, and God bless you. I'm allowed to say that, even as a scientist. It's my own personal benediction upon you for listening. Thank you. Thank you so much. And for the man who commented, I really appreciate your comment. And I examined your work. You're okay in my book. I don't say that very frequently. Thank you for your comment. It's extraordinarily apropos. All right, and now that I've consumed 10 minutes to give you the overture to a 4 to 6 hour lecture, which may go longer, but I am going to try to reduce it to 4 to 6 hours, which is about the minimum I foresee for explaining, first of all, the geometry, second of all, the new number system, and third, the applications in every realm of physics to actually solve the problems that are extant in physics right now, which are driving, I'll just say, consensual science into psychosis, which I believe you may have noticed. It certainly has been noticed at the top. There are some extraordinarily insoluble problems which I have solved, including the collapse of the wave function, which I'll go through again, and the definition of the quantum of gravity, yielding Einstein's long-sought and horrifically unobtained unified field solution. It's not a unified field theory anymore. I got it. And the collapse of the wave function, the one problem that Paul-Adrien Maurice Dirac, my teacher, said was the only problem needed to be solved, the only problem in need of solution that will unlock quantum physics in all aspects. I discovered it. So I've got the unified field solution of Einstein, which was denied to him by the Stockholm fatheads in 2022, according to their misinterpretation of the discovery of actual violation of special and general relativity that is not violated, and I've proved that Einstein was right, although Bohr is not disproved either. It is superpositional. I will explain that totally so you understand superposition. Then you will understand fully, because you'll see it, what is entanglement. One of the most baffling phenomena, which was the subject of the Nobel Prize in Physics in 2022 October, on which I've given several videos which were ignored. That's okay. I needed to consolidate all the information that I have amassed, which is knowledge leading to understanding, and in the concluding segment of this massive integration and synthesis, I will be showing you how this understanding leads to wisdom, which is actually the goal of science. What is wisdom? It is the solution to all the questions, or any of the questions necessary to achieve a total synthesis of human consciousness with reality, so that you can solve your actual problem, which I will leave undefined for now, because it is religion. It is religion-based. And if you have not ever encountered religion, yes, you have, but you were traumatized. That's part of the game. And I'm going to show you the game theory of John Horton Conway, which I myself learned from John as his student, and I discovered what he discovered in the surreal number system, which completely validates my work, although it needed no such thing. It's just that I'm now able to prove that John Horton Conway deserved a Nobel Prize, or some kind of Fields Medal, or some kind of top-notch award for his discovery of the definition of a number, which I will now extend to the actual number system that the universe uses, which your physicists have missed. Your mathematicians forgot geometry. I am pure geometry, and I now know the number system and the mathematical system that solves the Einstein field equation and the Einstein energy equation. That will be in the next segment. Thank you for your attention. I'm going to release this as a 15-minute segment because that is short enough to elicit a wide range of hits. I need attention now. I need to be interviewed. That's my goal. I need to be interviewed. There will be papers that are requisite in science to be released, so you'll have documentation of all my discoveries. But I don't have much time. Okay? So that's where I'm at. So you know, why I'm going in haste. I will attempt to release the 3 papers that need to be released to describe all of my discoveries, which go to the dozens now, to explicate and finally solve the problems in physics at the quantum level and at the cosmological level and at the human consciousness level. The human consciousness is actually a surface that has never been discovered. I discovered it. And that goes to the realm of psychedelics, which is a major insight into geometry if you've ever been on a mushroom trip, or perhaps DMT or LSD, you know that your time orientation was shifted. And that is what led to your amazing insights in the psychedelic world. It has to do with this circle. And that's critical. We're not into theory, we're not into myth, we're not into legend. This is science. We have to prove what we say. I can prove what consciousness is, to the advantage of all humanity. And thank you again, the man who left his comments. I believe that you did a wondrous service to this channel. I hope I can return the favor. Any money that I get will go to you. Thank you so much for now. I would put an asterisk after that. I don't know if I'll ever be offered money, and I wouldn't give it all to you, but you'll get something if I go anywhere. Lex Friedman could interview me. He won't because he's involved in another game having to do with the government. Kurt Jai Mungle, for whom I have the highest hopes, is the greatest scientific presenter of all time. Kurt Jai Mungle, whose channel used to be called The Theory of Everything and is now called simply Kurt Jai Mungle. He demands money for his advanced services. If any man deserved money, Kurt Jai Mungle does. But if he doesn't interview me, everything is off. He has to now. So tell him. Scott Allen Miller, that's my name. Kurt Jai Mungle, you're going to interview me. Or you're a fake. Your whole premise is a fake, because I have the solution that you say you're after. I have it. No one else does. I can prove it. I'll do so over the next 4 to 6 hours. Stay attentive. Stay on your guard. There are a lot of distractions keeping you from the rational logical solutions that you're blueprinted by DNA to obtain. Your union with the creation through cycles, the cycles of nature, the foundation of all religion. I will cover that in the final segment only, because it's a turnoff to the American audience. You're deluded, American audience. You need to listen to me now. That's an aside. Stay tuned. Thank you so much to all of you who've tuned in. It means so much to me. Consensual science is collaborative. It's for the benefit of all, especially the children. I address children, because only children, according to the Master, will enter heaven. Your childlike mind, when you saw the moon, and you saw this, a circle. Is it a sphere? Stay tuned. We have everything here that you need to be a true scientist of benefit to yourself and all humanity. That's what it's all about. Thank you very much. Keep looking up. There is a waxing crescent moon, the holiest time in the cycles of nature, according to revealed religion. If that turns you off, it won't when you're done listening to my video presentation. Thank you again. We'll be right back.